Hello, I'm Zett, and today I present you a video which a lot of people have waited for. We said we will give you an exploit game for Firmware 3.35, but Sony released version 3.36, which fixed basically all the exploit games we had since 3.18. But don't worry, we have two more, which indeed will work on version 3.36. The exploit game for version 3.36 will mainly be used to create your own custom bubbles on version 3.36. So basically, if you download the exploit game and follow our orders, you can get yourself a custom bubble like this VHBL bubble. And if you then start the VHBL bubble, you have a very good VHBL, which has very good compatibility. I would nearly call it perfect, but it's not quite perfect. But it's really one of the best we ever had. And the easy thing about this is you just have to buy the right game from the PlayStation Store. You have to buy and download the game. We had so many people who bought the game, didn't bother to download it, and then Sony removed the game. People paid money but didn't download the game, and then were unable to download the game. If you buy the exploit game, download it as soon as possible, because if Sony removes it from the store, you cannot download it anymore. You wasted money, you have to wait until the game returns in 2 or 3 months, and then you can't use exploit. If you buy it, download it as soon as possible. Okay, now about the game. It's a quite familiar game. Basically, you either need Patapon 1 or Patapon 2, but there's a twist. If you decide for Patapon 1, you have to use a European PlayStation account. Patapon 1 is only exploitable in its European version. The North American and Japanese Patapon 1 is not exploitable on 3.36. But don't worry. If you have a North American PlayStation account, just get Patapon 2. Patapon 2 is exploitable on version 3.36. For whatever reason, my PlayStation Vita says the server connection was cancelled, whatever. Where was I? Genau. If you are in North America or Europe, you can get Patapon 2 and also exploit version 3.36. I'm not sure about the Japanese Patapon 2. We think it's also exploitable, but we're not 100% sure. So it's pretty cheap. It's only 8 euros, so I guess it's $10. It's not really that big. I think it's 400 MB. 300, 400, 380, okay. And that's basically everything you need to know. You buy Patapon 1 if you are in Europe, or you buy Patapon 2 if you are in Europe, North America, and maybe Japan. We're not sure if the Japanese Patapon 2 is also exploitable, so wait for a confirmation or do it on your own risk, whatever. The thing is, if you are on version 3.36, you are currently not able to enjoy these delicious custom bubbles, which let you launch, for example, VHBL or PSP Filer, or simply just a game which is not in the PlayStation Store, like this K-On! Game. And this pretty much will enable you to create your own custom bubbles on version 3.36. The thing is, the exploit on Patapon 1 or 2 is actually shit, but it's good enough to create custom bubbles. That means you get the Patapon 1 game or Patapon 2 game, then you are able to create your own custom bubbles, and then you have a good VHBL. Just the game itself and the exploit in the game itself is quite shitty, but it is good enough to give you access to a good exploit, which is the VHBL custom bubbles. And as long as you have the VHBL custom bubbles, you can create your own custom bubbles, for example, for Project Diva or for GTA. This is, by the way, not bought. because in Germany we have a stupid cut GTA without, well, it has less violence, so it's kind of not that fun to play. So I just created a European GTA custom bubble and I can play it. Or for, in my example, also the K-On bubble or the PSP filer bubble. It's also worth to mention on Firmware 3.36 you can not use ARC2. This is an old bubble, I could delete it because I don't need it. And you can also not use TNV on 3.36. You can only use VHBL and Custom Bubbles. But to do this you need Patapon 2 if you are wherever, or Patapon 1 if you are in Europe. It's not important if you get 1 or 2, it's just important that you get 2 if you are outside of Europe, and if you're inside of Europe you can get Patapon 1 or 2, then it's not important. The files will be released soonish, so don't expect them in 1 or 2 days, but maybe in like a week or 2. I think that's a good time frame. If it takes a bit longer, just wait on version 3.36. As long as you do not update, Sony can't do shit about this. Buy the game, download the game, in the best case also create a backup of the game via a content manager on your computer, and then you're good to go. Then you just have to wait for us to release the files for the exploit, and then you can create your own custom bubbles on version 3.36. That's everything you need to know. If Sony releases a version 3.37 or a 3.40 or even 4.00, don't update. If you update, it's your own damn fault for not being able to use this. As long as you're in 3.36, or in a better case below, but 3.36 works too, you can create your own custom bubbles, and you can enjoy the custom bubbles and PlayStation Network access. As you can see, I can access the PlayStation Store and have the VHBL bubble and the K-On bubble and PSP Fighter bubble and the whole shit of bubbles. As long as you don't update, you can keep the bubbles and you're happy and so on. So this is pretty much my video about the upcoming exploit for Firmware 3.36. And if I've forgotten it, I'm sorry, but the exploit is by QuickRazor, like most stuff in the recent time is by QuickRazor. So feel free to donate him if you want to, or if you're a cheap fuck, don't donate him, whatever you prefer. I'm Zett and see you soon.